Alright, we're going to start with a review of 3 CRKT knives. CRKT is Columbia River knife and tool. They make great hard use knives, and there's great knives for the outdoorsman or law enforcement or military personnel. They can be used and abused and just keep on going. So we'll start with the CRKT M21-12. It is a nice little pocket knife that comes at a hefty price of $80, which compared to other knives such as Emerson or Strider really isn't that bad. Blade comes in at 3 inches, which keeps it right at the legal length for a lot of states. It's a very deep bellied blade, as you can see there, and it will take some abuse. It will not break. I don't know if you can see the scratches on the back, but I have used this knife in survival situations where I've had to use it to cut down a sapling, use it to split branches, and I had to pound it on the back with a rock, and it worked. This knife has a thickness of 0.12 inches, the blade. The steel for the blade is Oz 8, which is 58 to 59 HRC. When it's closed, the handle length is 4.25 inches. It's pretty skinny. It's not a big signature when it's in your pocket. People don't really realize what it is. When it's open, it comes in at a 7.25 inches, which really isn't that bad either. And it's a nice 3.2 ounces. This is very, very light. I've had this knife for 3 years now and it's still going strong. It's got a great serration right here, which I have used to saw. Great Tanto spear point, and this is a great blade. Handle is aluminum, I believe. It's a nice handle, it's easy to grip onto. One of my favorite things about this knife is the Carson flipper right here. So when you pull back on it, you can get it to snap open just by gravity and just the force of you pushing on it. And when the flipper, when open, acts as a finger guard, so you can get a good stab, a good saw. So this is the CRKT M21. MSRP is $79.99. It's an okay pocket knife, and it'll really do the job well. Up next is a favorite little knife of mine called the CRKT Sting. The Sting was made by A.G. Russell, produced by CRKT. It is a double-sided boot knife, throwing knife, leg knife, and really just about whatever else you want to use it for. It's all made out of one piece of steel, which makes it pretty much unbreakable, and that's great to have. MSRP on this is about $50, which is a good price for a nice fixed blade. I did add the lanyard, it's my own design. But this knife can be thrown very accurately, as you can tell from the wear. I have thrown this knife many times, and it does come in at pinpoint accuracy and buries itself deep. It's got a great double edge, holds its edge very well, and it's a powder coated finish. It's just easy to get a stab on this. I mean, this is a very good little fighting blade. I believe the blade is 3.197 inches, and it's 1.37 inches thick. Steel is 1050 with an HRC of 54 to 55, and the overall length is 6.85 inches, and it weighs 3.9 ounces, so it's not that heavy either. And the sheath, which does come with the knife, is a nice little sheath with a Zytel liner to keep the line locked in place, nylon on the outside, but it is completely Zytel on the inside so you don't stab through. Comes with a lot of different carrying options. You can use these 2 leg straps right here, put it around your calf so it's concealed. You got the belt strap right here, and then you've got your gear straps. So you can attach this to just about anything. You can to your vest or just to a belt loop. You don't even have to have a belt on for this knife. This knife comes in at under 3.5 inches, so it is a legal knife to carry. And this is a great everyday carry knife. Double edge, you really can't beat this. And if you know how to throw a knife, this knife will feel very, very natural. It throws very well. It's $50. It's the CRKT Sting, and it's just a great razor sharp cutting knife. Good knife. Alright. Up next, we've got the CRKT Stealth First Strike. This is more the military edition of the First Strike family. You can see the belt loop here is at an awkward angle, so it would seem. I'll go more into that later. First, the knife. It's just a cool little knife. It's 9 3/8 inches overall, and the blade is 4.5 inches. It's a 440A stainless modified tanto blade with a black EDP coating. The handle is OD cord wrapped, very tough. I mean, it feels solid. And then it's got ray skin inserts in there. Very cool. And that is Stingray. And this is a tough knife. I mean, this is a thick blade, and it is not going to break. Even the tip is just thick. And this is my survival knife. I carry this with me up in the mountains. And I live in Colorado, and I'm in the tough, very rugged Rocky Mountains, and there have been some situations where I've had to use this blade, and it has come in great handy. It's got a nice little glass breaker on the bottom too with a lanyard hole, although the lanyard hole isn't really capable of taking that big of a lanyard. As you can see, it's kind of taken up by the cord wrap. That is a great little striking edge there. This knife feels natural in your hand. It's got a nice grip right there on it, and it does come in at around $80, which isn't too bad for a fixed blade knife, and especially CRKT, they make great knives. This is the Stealth edition, and the regular First Strikes are silver, but I like this one because there's no gleam. Now, on to the sheath. It's a Zytel sheath. It's very tough, and it's very customizable. You can put this little belt loop anywhere you want. Most people would mount it blade straight up, but since I am in the mountains, I carry a pack, and it kind of gets in the way of a knife, so I carry it to the side, and what it turns out to be is I've got it mounted on my belt just on the side, and I can pull the knife out at any time. The great thing about this sheath is it's reversible for the knife, so whichever way you want the knife in, it will work. You can mount anywhere on the back. You can also mount this to any type of gear with just the right straps. This is wrapped in paracord by me. 550 paracord is just about the best thing you can have in the mountains. 550-pound tensile strength, many threads inside. With just simple 5 feet of this, you can do a lot of survival techniques. I recommend carrying it with you if you ever do get into a survival situation. And it's a great place to put on a knife, and looks cool too. The CRKT Columbia River knifing tool. This is the Stealth First Strike. The CRKT Sting. Such a cool little knife. The CRKT M21. All these knives range from $50 to $80. And they're just great knives. Now, I am going to do a little shameless plug for the Emerson Karambit. If you do want a beautiful fighting knife, I would go with the Emerson Karambit. It is $290, made by Emerson, not CRKT, but this is just a great knife. Alright, I'll put this away. To find CRKT knives, you can go to CRKT.com, and they're great knives. I trust them.